First up on WION Dispatch, the Indian National Security Adviser Ajit Doval has met with his UK counterpart Tim Barrow in New Delhi today. Concerns over the activities of pro-Khalistan radicals dominated their meeting with Barrow, and the Indian NSA urged Tim Barrow to take strong public action such as deportation against the extremist elements threatening Indian diplomats in the UK. The talks also touched upon issues like counterterrorism and terror financing. The NSA is also resolved to deepen mutually beneficial bilateral collaboration in critical and emerging technologies. The meeting comes after the UK-based chief of the Khalistan Liberation Force died under mysterious circumstances in UK on June 15th. He allegedly handled separatist voices in India and abroad. Ajit Doval has been in touch with Barrow over the rise of pro-Khalistan extremism in UK again. The issue has affected the overall relationship between the two countries. India has concerns over the British government soft-peddling the issue. The Indian government was upset when radicals desecrated the Indian flag during a protest march at the Indian High Commission in London this year. In the wake of the incident, perhaps for the first time, Delhi police registered an FIR over a crime committed abroad. The case was later handed over to India's National Investigation Agency. The Indian NSA was also expected to raise the issue of Indian diplomats being targeted by the pro-Khalistani extremists in posters announcing a protest rally as well. The protest rally is reportedly being led to the Indian High Commission in London on July 8th. For more on this, we're now being joined by Principal Diplomatic Correspondent Siddhant Sibal from New Delhi. And Siddhant, what more do we know about what was discussed between the two NSAs of India and the UK?
Well, the Indian NSA and the British NSA held talks today, and this is a relationship which is a substantive relationship with the people-to-people relationship forming the core of this relationship. There are many Indian members, the diaspora members in UK that forms a living bridge. But today the big focus remained on the Khalistani worries. We know that when it comes to the Khalistani extremism and the protests they have been indulging, there have been several incidences in past few months, including of course the posters being issued with pictures of the Indian High Commissioner and also the desecration of the Indian flag. Now, what today India has told UK is two things. First, of course, sought guarantees on safety of the Indian mission and Indian diplomats. And secondly, has told London that it needs to take action and visible action when it comes to dealing with Khalistani extremism. And this includes deporting all those who have been taking these protests and violent attacks on the Indian mission, or take legal proceedings as well. In fact, yesterday, in response to a question, the spokesperson of India's Ministry of External Affairs said that while he welcomes the comments made by the British authorities over safety of the Indian mission and Indian diplomats, he would like to take action on the ground. And one thing that has been missing from the British side or from other governments as well, including the Canadian and the American government, is strong visible action on the ground when it comes to these Khalistani protesters who have been indulging in arson and violent attacks against the Indian mission and of course threatening the Indian diplomats as well.
Right, Siddhant. Thanks very much indeed for joining us with the latest on that bilateral talk between the NSAs of India and the UK.